Hey YouTube, David here, Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Today we're going to do a video on, I told y'all I'm in the motel here for a few days, so I figured I'm just going to make a few. But I've been paying attention to some of the stuff that's going on over with Israel, Iran. I've been making some stuff going on. We ain't really going to talk about Russia and Ukraine, France and United Kingdom or United Nations, whatever, which one it was. It was, but this war is getting ready to happen. And this is and I've been hearing people say it in the video I've been listening to that in the 11th hour. Well, we're no longer, we're in the 11th hour. I don't know if I want to call it the 11th hour or the 23rd hour because the name of this, as you already know, at midnight I will rise. We're going to be looking at that verse here in Psalm 119 a little bit. Actually, I think it's pretty shortly. Actually, I think it's the next thing we're going to look at. But what is midnight? Okay, yes, this is the fifth book, name of the fifth book, Precept 5, at midnight I will rise. But if we look at it from a flesh perspective, or if we look at it from an earthly perspective, midnight is the change of one day to the next. Okay, and that's what this war is all about. Okay, and maybe when we're talking later, I'm going to show you. But when this war breaks out that's getting ready to happen, okay, and a lot of these videos that I listen to and so forth, and I listen to these people's commentary, nobody seems to have a sense of what's going on. I mean, yes, the U.S. has got quite a they're spreading all kinds of ridiculous lies that they're spreading all over the mainstream media. You know, Netanyahu's definitely all kinds of lies, and I tend to agree with a lot of the stuff that I listen to. Because the U.S. the guys over there in the big wigs, they try to tell us that Iran is the main corporate of terrorism and all this. No, they're not. Iran hasn't attacked anybody in 40 some years. Iran has built up a defense military, not an offensive military. Iran doesn't attack anybody. Iran tries to defend their sovereignty. They try to defend themselves. If we want to go with the terrorism, number one terrorist, I think it's more like it's a tie between the United States and Israel, and I should show you all that. But Israel, if you think that's the Holy Land and we think we got to protect it, no, no. Israel of the Bible is not an actual piece of land. Israel is a people. The people over in Israel that reside in Israel. Netanyahu, he is nothing more than a fellow servant and or vessel of God that resides over there. That is not a piece of land that needs to be protected any more than any other piece of land on this planet. God the Father breathed life into everybody on this planet, which makes the whole entire planet the holy land of God. He dwells inside of us. He doesn't just favor one nation over another neighbor. He doesn't favor any nation over another nation. Israel is not the Holy Land. And it doesn't need to be protected any more than any other country on this planet. But it doesn't need to be protected any less than any other country on this planet. It's the same for all of it. Anyway, I'm already ranting and raving about something I wasn't even thinking I was going to talk about in this video. But as of right now, from the latest things I've been hearing, is that, and this is why we're starting right here on this, and I'm not going to play these videos because they got copyrights and all that stuff. You can just kind of look at the headlines. The United States is trying to get Israel to attack Iran. So Iran will retaliate because Iran has already vowed the slightest attack on them, they're going after everything. It's full out regional war. They're going after Israel. They're going after all the United States bases, all the U.S. bases in the region that they can reach with their military. Uh, in a press conference or something, whatever, the other night Trump was saying that they're close to having missiles that can reach the United States. They're not even trying to build missiles, trying to be able to reach the United States. Trump said, I haven't heard the magic words that they won't build a nuclear weapon. Open your stinking ears. They've been saying it for 40 years. They have no desire for a nuclear weapon. They've been saying it for 40 years, over and over and over. They even made it to where they could have the people come in and inspect to make sure that they weren't making a nuclear weapon. Trump tore that up in his last presidency. But yet he's saying they haven't said the magic word. They have told him numerous times they have no desire to build a nuclear weapon. But that doesn't matter to him. But that's what we got to talk about right now. Yeah, you've seen videos. Well, I think you got videos in here later on. Something about now the United. I think the USS Ford got close to Israel today. It's supposed to be the biggest aircraft carrier we got. Which, by the way, the guys on there, their morale is not the great because they've been out to sea for 261 days. I think it is now, and it doesn't look like they're going to go back until later this spring. It looks like the ship's expected to be out for almost a complete year. They're having problems with their plumbing and everything else because the morale on the guy with the guy, everybody on the ships, they're like, hey, you know what? I want to see my family. Okay, but either way about it, all right. Looks like United States is going to try to get Israel to attack. And I listened to one thing earlier where Israel is. They didn't come out and say it, but they've in the Hebrew tongue, not in English. But Netanyahu was actually saying that if this doesn't work, he's going to use the nukes. Before everybody gets in a panic and an uproar, and because this is this is all biblical. This is what I've been writing about in the books, telling you all is coming. I've been saying this for years. I've known this was coming for years. I've actually expected it to start a lot sooner than what it's starting because I'm on the fleshly timeline, not the Father's timeline. And I keep trying to think things are going to happen sooner than what they are happening. But now I've gotten to a point now I don't really want to say anything anymore because, you know, I've gotten to the point where I've thought things were going to happen sooner than I thought they were going to happen. I thought they were going to happen sooner than they did, or so be it. Like when he had me write the seventh book, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. When Israel first got attacked by Hamas, October 7th, 2023, was it? Yeah. When they first attacked them, was it 24? But anyway, I thought things were getting ready to get nasty then because that's the book he showed me. That's the book that Father and I started having one-on-one conversations as I was writing the book, and those conversations are actually recorded in the book. Okay, well, but I thought things were going to get really nasty then. What are we? We're what? Might as well say March of 26th. And there's been another book written since then. Actually, two other books written since then. Now there's 9 books written. And, you know, but now it really looks like with all the buildup and everything that the United States has put over there, there's some people saying, oh man, the United States is not going to do anything. Okay. They've wasted a lot of money. No, pointless. Right now they're trying to tell Iran, excuse me, they're telling Iran they got to get rid of all their ballistic missiles. I mean, it's just like telling the people you got to leave you. It's like it's like saying, hey, you know what? For now on, you keep your doors unlocked. Don't ever lock your doors again. And you're not allowed to have any ammunition in your house. You're not allowed to have anything other than butter knives in your house for defense. That's kind of what the United States is the deal that the United States is trying to put on Iran. You're, they're making they're saying Iran's not agreeing to ridiculous terms. Get rid of all your get rid of all your missiles. No, don't support any allies. People over here want to call them proxies. They're just nothing more than allies, like we have allies. Okay, and they want to get rid of all their short, mid-range missiles, where they can't even they can't defend themselves. Then, if that's what Trump thinks they should do, then Trump should get rid of all of his security detail, and he should not ever have another security guard around him for the rest of his life. Because, I mean, if he expects them to feel that secure with all the enemies around Iran, then Trump should also feel secure with having his doors unlocked and no way to protect himself in his house. He should just feel free. Oh, you know what? Nothing's going to happen to me because that's what he's expecting Iran to do. It's ridiculous. Nobody's going to give up their protection. Everybody's got a right to protect themselves. I mean, but either way about it, I have to recall what the scriptures actually teach. Okay. And this is all biblically being done. This I needed to show. Oh, I don't know if I even brought that up earlier. I was going to look that up. I need to do that. Mm, I got sidetracked going through there and getting everything marked, but I need to do this. Here we go. Jeremiah 42:6. I'll get that in place because we're going to be talking about this here in a minute. I told you this internet at this place sucks. Yeah, maybe it's half of my computer too. Jeremiah 42:6. Still logged in as me, so I had to change my version of the Bible. Actually, when we get to this, we're actually going to read 4 through 6, like that. We'll do that. Okay. And now that I got that there, I'm going to move this all the way down here. Come down here. All right. I don't remember why. Oh, that's why I did that. All right. Sorry for throwing you for a loop there. But anyway, right now, looks like the United States is trying to tell Israel they need to throw the first bomb. That way, Iran's going to retaliate. Iran's going to come because the United States is with Israel. They're one and the same. Okay, Iran's going to bomb the U.S. Uh, the U.S. embassies or whatever, which they have started evacuating now. So it does look like it's getting ready to happen. And then once Iran retaliates, that gives the United States more reason to go ahead and go in and do more damage to Iran because most of the population in the United States doesn't agree with the war with Iran right now, according to the polls, is what everybody's saying. It's around 70% of people, 79% or something like that. It's like 79, only 21% of people, according to the polls, support the war with Iran, which is ridiculous anyway. And there's 79% that don't want this war. But if they get Israel to attack Iran, Iran attacks the Israel, and Iran attacks the U.S. thing got over there. Okay, then they can get the people on board with attacking Iran. Blah 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 blah. It's all just a God breathe life into everybody. But that's the latest scheme that the United States is trying to do. They're trying to get Israel to throw the first punch, get Iran to retaliate, so the United States got a reason to come in and get the United States. And if you think this is going to be a walk in the park for the United States, you are deadly mistaken. 100%. Because this is not being done by man, as many think it is. And that's what we're going to go over today. But we got to, like, the reason we're doing this, because I want to show you midnight is the end of the day. Now, the fifth book at midnight, precept 5, at midnight I will rise. We show you we're living in the Sabbath day now. Remember, book King James Bible is not a history book, it's a lesson book. It's what we are supposed to learn from through our lives. Okay. In the first thing I want to show, 119 verse 16, at midnight verse 60, excuse me, at midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. How many of you are going to be given thanks when you start seeing people dying by the thousands? And I'm not talking the single digit thousands. I'm talking more or less up in the millions, maybe billions of people dying. And that's what I want to show, Revelation 9, because that's what's getting ready to start taking place. I thought it was going to start taking place a little bit sooner. The 2,300 days was up December 1st. That's why I wasn't in the country last December 1st. That's why I was in the Philippines, because I was thinking it was going to start December 1st. That was when the 2,700 days, 2,300 days after the publication of the third book. I explained this in the ninth book. I had my timing off and wrong on the eighth book. I thought it was 2,300 days after the second book, but it was actually 2,300 days after the publication of the third book, it was published originally August 15th, 2019, and 2,300 days from that date was actually December 1st of 2025. I left the country on the 29th of November last year. Okay, and I stayed there for 2 weeks. Nothing happened to come back. And yeah, I was very disappointed because I thought something was going to happen. Okay, but the 2,300 days, that goes with Revelation 9, that goes with Ezekiel 9. I am going to have to do that, right? I'm going to do that right now. Go to Revelation 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there rose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of a smoke locust upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpion of the earth hath power. It was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, nor but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given, and they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and torment was as the torment of scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Now, that's 5 months of hardcore life we got. Yes, many will be protected from this death. I've got that cross on my head. There's a picture of that cross on, I've got that seal on my head. That's 5 months of hardcore life where I believe we are going to lose approximately half the population of the world is going to die. And I think that's what's getting ready to kick off. You know, and I was listening to a video earlier and it talked about, um, actually, I want to show this first. I want to go to Ezekiel 9 because this same thing. This is what's getting ready to happen. Okay, you need to see here. Sanctuary. Gotta look this up. Let me pause this real quick. Not much to look up in Ezekiel 9. Okay, and we'll just go with, I'm going to start with verse 3. And the glory of God of Israel was gone up from the cherub whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after through the go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. They began at the ancient men which were before the house. That lines up with Revelation 9. Remember how we seen that? Revelation 9? Back here, just click back there to the last page. If this internet will do it. Ah, Turkey. Revelation 9. And it was commanded them that verse 4, she commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Remember how in Ezekiel 9 it said, them with the mark on them, put a mark on their heads. This is what's getting ready to happen. Remember, God is a spirit. God is a spirit. He breathed of himself into each and every one of us. It's not man doing it. We're going to be talking about this later on. Okay. Genesis 1. Okay. We just showed at midnight I will rise. Remember now, remember. Okay. And I'm not going to read all of Genesis 1. Hold that will take you all to heck. Okay. But Genesis 1 is the first 6 days of creation. And we go to Genesis 2, and it's the seventh day of creation. This is when God, on the first day of creation, he breathed life into everyone, or created the light. He dwelled over the waters. We are the waters. Okay. They got the 6 days of creation. On the seventh day, God rested. Now, he's inside of every one of us. That's what makes us all part of the one Son of God. On the seventh day, God rested. Kind of. He's having his children do everything, or his one Son of God make all things. John 1. Okay? All things were made for him and by him. God made the earth for us, or his Son, and everybody's part of the one Son of God. Now Jesus builds everything. Everything you own is built by Jesus, is manufactured by Jesus. Everything you do because the Son of God has made it able for you to do that. That's how that works. But now, oh, I'm sure I've got a lot of things coming to mind that I wasn't thinking of before. Now I'm going to go to Colossians 4. Colossians 4. Okay. And we're going to look to see where Jesus, whose name is Justice. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? I don't want to have to pause it for this. Am I going to have to? Oh, right here, verse 11, Colossians 4. And Jesus, which is called Justice. Remember, we're supposed to hear the engrafted word spoken of James 1:21. Hear the engrafted word. Jesus, who is called Justice. Remember, God is a spirit. God breathed part of himself into everybody on the planet. So God can't himself justify your wrongdoings or anyone else's wrongdoings. But Jesus, who is called Justice, justifies things. So, uh, hypothetically, let's just say I go down to the motel clerk and I'm just mean as all get out to her, call her all kinds of names. The Father will have some other servant and or vessel, or he'll have part of Jesus come to me and ridicule or chastise and rebuke me for what I did to her. Somehow or another, something bad's going to happen to me by someone else. That's how God is going to justify himself. That's why Jesus, who is called Justice. See, now is this where we got to go to Jeremiah 42:6. For 42, I'm going to read Jeremiah 42:4. Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto the Lord your God according to your words, and it shall come to pass that whatsoever thing the Lord shall answer you, I will declare it unto you. I will keep nothing back from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, the Lord be true and faithful witness between us, if we do not even according to all things for which the Lord thy God shall send thee to us, whether it be good, whether it be evil, we will obey the voice of the Lord our God, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us when we obey the voice of the Lord our God. So it doesn't matter if they're doing evil or if they're doing good. If they're doing what the Father's telling them to do, they're doing right. This is where I got to say it, and I think I say it in the eighth book. This has not been confirmed by the Father, but I always hear people ridiculing, talking bad about Adolf Hitler. I don't know if he was doing what he was being told to do. And if he was doing what he was being told what to do, he'll be rewarded. So I've come up with my own conclusion that I think this is not confirmed by the Father, but I think President Trump is the reincarnated Adolf Hitler. Trump has always been rich his entire life. He's had an easy life as far as that goes. If Adolf Hitler was doing what he was supposed to be doing, he will be rewarded for what he did in his last life, in his current life. So I think President Trump is the reincarnated Adolf Hitler. If you pay attention to some of the things that he does and says, he's got some very similar traits as of Adolf Hitler did. And it's kind of like what's going on right now with him trying to rule the world. He's making some of the same mistakes Adolf Hitler did, from what I understand it. That Adolf Hitler, when he wanted to take on certain countries and so forth, he wanted to do it a certain way, similar to the ways the United States is trying to do it right now. And then Adolf Hitler wound up losing. Took his men and got into a battle that he got a lot of his men slaughtered. That's here and there, okay? Either way about it. That's my personal opinion. That's not been confirmed by the Father. So what I wanted to look at now, see, now we got, remember, these are all servants and or vessels of God. Now maybe I should have showed that first. I think Isaiah 45:7, we're going to come back to those. This is the Father. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Our Father's the only one that creates evil. And, I know there's a lot of people out here that think people are possessed by Satan and all that. No, you got to read the seventh book. Uh, you got those people that do these exorcisms. Okay, this is the way our Father designed it. Okay, Satan is inside of every one of us. I don't care who you are. The only way you can get Satan to flee from you is meditating on the scriptures from the King James Version of the Bible. Okay, learning of our Father. Otherwise, Satan's right there running the show. That's why most of y'all won't listen to these videos. Well, and I forgot to say that. Go ahead and say that now. Share it, subscribe, like, comment, dislike, do what you want. Forgot to say that at the beginning. But anyway, God creates the light. Now, Romans 2, right? Romans 9, sorry. 19. I will say unto verse 19, thou wilt say then unto me, why doth ye find fault? For who have resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? See, that's what I'm talking about. See, God has made people for the evil day. This is not man themselves doing this war. Long, this what the Father had to do in the second book, because once I started to realize that everybody's part of the Son of God, and everybody's got their own different roles to fulfill. I was talking about that in the last video I made. Okay, but everybody's got their own different role to fulfill. Okay, it's God the Father inside of them causing them to do it. It's God the Father that's made these concrete roads that we drive on. It's the God the Father that's actually created the whatever you're watching this on, be it phone, tablet, laptop, or computer, whatever, however you're watching it, which is actually Jesus, because God the Father breathed part of himself into every one of us. That's where you got to understand our mother, Revelation 17, the abomination of the whole earth. That's our mother. God put himself into every one of us through her, just like when man and woman has a child, he puts part of him into the woman. They have a child that is part of both of them. God is inside of every one of us. So he's the one that has formed us. He's the one that created every one of us, even if it's having people do wrong. What we perceive as wrong might not be wrong in the Father's eyes, because if that's what the Father needs to be done, that's what will be done. No choice about it. Give you a good example. All right. I show you all in the books, and I talk about this in the videos on how I was in the bed, spiritually in the belly of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights, March 28th, Good Friday, 1986. I was in a car accident. Who do you think caused me to drive down into the ditch, come back out of the ditch, cut the wheels too sharp, however it happened, flipped it? I don't remember that part of my life. I'm just going off memory. I tell you about this in the ninth book. I don't have memory of what I read in newspaper clippings and what friends and family told me. What do you think caused that? Who do you think caused me to walk out into the wilderness March 8th of 2016? Almost 30 years later after the car accident, 20 days shy of it. It's the Father. Matthew 12:38 through 41. This wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, but the only sign will be given the sign of Jonas, where Jonas was in the belly of the earth, for belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. So shall the Son of Man be in the belly of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. Behold, a greater than Jonas is here. The name of the second book. I was spiritually in the belly for 3 days and 3 nights. 20 days shy of 30 years later, when I walked out into the wilderness, lay down my life. I call that the baptism of the Holy Ghost. You go to Luke 3 and you learn Jesus was about 30 years old when he was baptized. Who do you think made that happen? It wasn't David. David didn't plot that out when I was 15 years old. Oh, when I'm 16, I'm going to go out and get in a car accident. I'm going to be in a coma for 3 days and 3 nights. And then 30 years later, almost to the day, I'm going to walk out into the wilderness. I mean, come on. No, that was the Father. That was the Father. Just the same. He's in everybody. He's in the leaders of Iran. He's in the Netanyahu. He's in Trump. He's in Vladimir Putin over in Russia. Zelensky. Did I say that right? Yeah, Vladimir Putin in Russia, Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine. You know, it's God the Father in all this that's causing all this to happen. Well, when this starts, that's midnight. That's we're getting ready to go from the end of the Sabbath day into the eighth day. Remember, now going back to, well, I already got it out of here. Genesis 1, though, the 6 days of creation, the seventh day, God rested. Why were we not told about anything that happens in the seventh day? But yet we're always told, I don't know if I'm going to that next or not. Psalm, everybody is a servant. Psalm 119, verse 91. They continue this day according to thy ordinances, for all are thy servants. Everybody's a servant. I want to show you that. Servants, everybody's a vessel of God. Here I think we got 1 Peter 3. I'm going to read the first 7 verses. Like ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that, if any obey not the word, that they may also without the word be won by the conversation of the wise, while they behold our chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adoring, let it not be the outward adoring of plaiting of the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart. Remember, the woman's part of the Son of God too. You're hearing it right here. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. For after this manner in old time the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being their heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Unto the weaker vessel. The woman is the wife is the weaker vessel. What is she the weaker vessel? The man is the stronger vessel. We are all servants and or vessels of God. Okay, we could go into the parable about the wine bottles, filling the wine bottles. Wine is knowledge. Okay, the only way you're going to get this knowledge is reading these books. If and you're going to have to start with precept 1. You're going to have to go all the way to precept 9, and precept 10. If there's precept 10, when I get over to the Philippines in a couple months, if I write another one, which I think I will, but not until then. I'm not wasting any more money until I get over there. And yeah, that's the way I kind of look at it right now. I waste my money because nobody pays attention to these things anyway. Oh, got a boss. Yeah, sorry about that. It was Rose called. The woman the father hooking me up with over in the Philippines. Anyway, I was talking about everybody's a servant, everybody's a vessel of God. All right. So what do I have here next? Oh, I got it wrote down back here. 2 Timothy 2:19-21. Okay, just more showing that uh, nevertheless the Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having the seal. The Lord knoweth them that are his, and ye let every one that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified, and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. We are all vessels of God. And that doesn't mean it's all for the good. Remember, God the Father creates people. Jesus, which all of us carry our own cross, okay, is also called justice. All right. Now, Luke 20, this is what the seventh book was all about. Luke 21, verses 20 through 26. And and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth the distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. We are the people, we are the water. It's not going to be the actual waves in the ocean. The waves rolling, it's going to be people. Yeah, okay. Any of you all watch sports, I don't watch sports. Years ago I used to, and I know in the stadiums they always do that thing called the wave. At one end of the bleachers, people will stand up, stick their arms up, and they just do it all the way down, and it looks like a big wave. We are the people. We are the waters. That's the waves that are going to be flowing, roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Now I know I got Philippians 3:20, for our conversation is in heaven, from whence we also look for the Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. Our conversation is in heaven. Okay. Well, listen to what that's saying. Our conversation. This is someone that's actually writing the Bible. The scriptures are the heavens. I actually show you in the ninth book that people are also a level of heavens. So it's the scriptures, as we read there in Luke 21, okay, 22, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Okay, a lot of the things of the Old Testament, the wars in the Old Testament, and something the other day was coming in about the war in heaven. Well, the scriptures are the heaven. The wars that's talked about in the Old Testament, those are what's getting ready to happen in our lifetime. Things like that's getting ready to happen here. Okay? Because the King James Bible is not a history book. The things that are written in the King James Bible are getting ready to be fulfilled. Yes, even the things you think Jesus did, I'm doing. It's happening with me. Just like I had the illustration I gave you just a little while ago about me being spiritually in the belly of the earth for 3 days and three nights in 20, March 8th, Good Friday, March 28th, Good Friday, 1986, March 8th of 2016, I walked out into the wilderness. I laid down my life. I was baptized by the Holy Ghost. And that's a different baptism of just regular baptism of water, because I believe it's Luke 12, somewhere around there, where Jesus, when they come up and the woman asked him if, well, I think it was a woman, asked Jesus if one could sit on his left side and one could sit on his right side, and Jesus says, that's not for me to decide. But he asked, can you undergo the same baptism as I undergo? That's the baptism I undertook. I gave everything I owned away, walked out into the wilderness thinking I was going to die. That's when David died. That's when Jesus started going through all this schooling to bring these books to you all. David laid down his life. That's what Psalm 89 is all about. I have found my servant, David. We went over this in the last video. That's what all that's about. All right, and did the Philippians 3:20. Here's what I wanted to show here. Okay, see, this is just, whoops. What did I do here? Oh, I closed that out for some reason. See if I can pop it back up here. Come on, internet. If I can find that one where, yeah, they're talking about the sewage problems, everything they're talking about on the USS Ford. There's one I've seen, I listened to earlier about the United States is moving F-22 Raptors now. It really sounds like it's getting ready to break out this weekend, which I want to. And I was just talking to Rose, and I was so glad she called because it was a few weeks ago. The father told me that the website was going live at a very critical time. Now, I just spoke with the publisher again this morning, and they're still telling me by the end of the month. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. This war is getting ready to take place. And that's why I was wanting to show you that video of the F-22. Let's see here. It was this one, Rachel Blevins. I think she's the one that had it. But well, let me go back to my channel. Go to my. Where it's at. But anyway, they're moving F-22s. It sounds like the war's getting ready to happen this weekend. Okay, let's see here. Oh, guess we are to that point. Anyway, what I was talking about, the website now is going to be an e-commerce website where I'll be able to make money off of it. I'm moving to the Philippines in a couple of months. I'm taking 5 days off work to get the body work on my truck. And I'm sitting here wondering, am I going to have the money to finish doing what we're doing? Because we're opening up a shop over there in the Makati Mall and so forth. And, and it's just sitting here trying to balance everything. Then it was this morning, the father reminded me, he said, David, the website's going live at the same time this war's getting ready to break out. This is not going to be an in and out thing, as all these big wigs over in Washington, D.C. are hyping it up to be. They think they can go in there and just quickly humiliate Iran and all that. No, it's not going to be that way. Now, I don't know how many people actually that watch my channel pay attention to other stuff going on, but they have countries out there that are trying to form a new currency for the world. Okay, it's called BRICS. And I believe that's Britain, Russia, Iran, China, and there's a few other countries. There's like 15 different countries that are in this now. But do you think the United States is going to go after Iran and Russia and China, which are also part of BRICS, are just going to say, okay, well, you can go ahead and destroy them? No, they're not. From what I understand it, Russia and Iran have both been supplying them with help, and I believe no one else, I've ever heard anyone else say this. I do believe Russia and China will step up to the plate if and when the United States attacks Iran. They signed this, they're in this big financial thing together. That means they're allies, whether you like it or not. Everybody's tied in over there. All these countries that are going against the US dollar, that's what BRICS is all about, okay? They're tied together. They made a commitment together. They're not going to just say, well, you're on your own. There's a reason they're doing that. Iran is, from a strategic point of view, for Russia and China, is a very important country. They're not going to just sit back and say, okay, United States, you can do whatever you want. The United States right now is pretty much hated by the entire world for good reason. For good reason. But they're doing what the father needs them to do, as far as we know. And that's the same with all these other countries that are getting ready to go against the United States. This is biblical. This is the beginning of the end of the seventh day of creation. I know I was going to show that where I was talking about the eighth day, circumcised the eighth day. Was that right here? I think that's where it was. Yeah, this is it. Oh, you stinking internet. Whoops. Now, what are you doing? Yes, go here. Oh, that's right. I was going to show you that too. Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm all over the place today. I don't care. I showed you Ezekiel. Did I show you Ezekiel? Oh, no, I did not. No, I did not. Man, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Yeah, I got distracted by the phone call. All right. Yeah, I started talking about what did I have Matthew 12 for? I don't know why I had that. Anyway, all right. Anybody that's familiar with anything of the Bible, okay, they know we're supposed to be circumcised the eighth day. All right. But in order, okay, when the seventh day ends, this war that's getting ready to break out, okay, we're told not only to circumcise ourselves in the flesh, but the heart. Because we're getting ready to start the ending of the seventh day, getting ready to go into the eighth day. Okay, we got to circumcise our hearts too. Deuteronomy 10:16. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff necked. For the Lord thy God is God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. As the video talked about last night, God regardeth no one. If you're not circumcised in the flesh, if you're not circumcised in the heart, you're not going to be in the sanctuary of God. Now, remember how we showed that in Ezekiel 9, where God says, start at my sanctuary. If you are not circumcised in the flesh, if you are not circumcised in the heart, you're out. You're done. We talked about that in a video last night about being in the house of being in his Father's house. He's not going to let you in his house if you're not willing to learn of his ways. Now, Jeremiah 4:4, I believe it was, circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings. Got to circumcise. That circumcises. You got to let down your guard. You got to let go of your pride. You got to stop thinking that I was here 2,000 years ago. You got to stop thinking that you've read the Bible and that you understand it perfectly because you don't. If you think it's a history book, if you think it was for people of the past and not for you, you have absolutely no knowledge of the Bible. You have no knowledge of our Father. You have no knowledge of what He's doing, why He's doing what He's doing. And you never will. You never will. You want to be in the sanctuary of God? Ezekiel 44:9. Thus saith the Lord God, no stranger, uncircumcised in heart, nor uncircumcised in flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary, or of any stranger that is among the children of Israel. You're not circumcised in the flesh, you're not circumcised in the heart, you're not going to be in the sanctuary of God. You will die in your sins. You have to read these books, guys. These books are, I am the only way to the Father. These books are going to give you an understanding of our Father, who He is, what He's doing, why He's doing what He's doing. Yes, you'll get, like I said in the video last night, you'll get some perspective from these videos, but you'll never get the perspective that you will from reading the books. You get to go through these lessons with me. You get to go through life with Jesus. If you are not willing to go through life with one another, that's one chapter in the book. If you're not willing to go through life with God the Father, another chapter in the eighth book. If you're not willing to go through life with Jesus, you're not entering into my Father's house because you have a love for nobody but yourself. If you don't want to take the time to learn about how much the Father truly loves you and what He wants from you, then you love no one but yourself. What is the greatest commandment? Thou shalt love God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. The second, which is equal to the first, or like the first, like unto the first, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Thy neighbor is anybody you ever see, hear of, or even think of is your neighbor. Why? Because we all live on the same planet. the same one planet that God created for all of us, for his one Son of God. Everybody on this planet is your neighbor, period. Okay, what do I have here next? Matthew 25. I was going to read 13 verses here because this is what I was going to talk about last night. I had the verse, I was saying Matthew 13 or Matthew 23, and it was Matthew 25. This is the parable about the women that have the oil in their lamps. Okay. And we are all married unto God. This is Jeremiah 3. Okay. God is married to all of us. Okay. And this is all kind of illustrated to, Revelation 17, our mother, we're all part of her, and he breathed part of himself into all of us. He's married unto us. He only gave us a bill of divorcement. Talked about in the first book. He didn't make the divorce final. Finalization of the divorce doesn't become till the end of the world. All those that does not turn back to him, that's where the divorce will become final. The divorce will be final, which, they just got to go through another 70, 80,000 years of being reincarnated, living several thousand lives, and only a certain few will make it because hell never ends. Your soul is eternal. Your soul will always be alive, but your flesh will not. And yeah, I'm bouncing all around the scriptures tonight, but that's what I'm saying. You cannot get a complete understanding from just watching these videos. All right, I'm going to read the first 13 verses here. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins. This is just a parable. Oops. Which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. Remember, we are all vessels of God. Remember this lamp. What's a lamp do? It gives you light. The Father, I'm not showing this in the scriptures, I show it in the books. Father is the candle that keeps the light going. That's the candle we're never supposed to blow out. That's never supposed to go out. The Father is the candle. I could show this is all in the books. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. All right, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered, and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily, 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 I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. If you don't read these books, you have no oil in your lamps. None. Your lamps are empty. You will not be welcomed in. That's what these books do. They give you an understanding of our Father, who He is, what He's doing, why He's doing what He's doing. If you want an understanding of our Father, you have to read these books. You can listen to them. I recommend it. Well, I don't know on the Kindle version because I'm no longer giving the books away for free. Once the website's up and running, davidofpsalm89.net, I won't be giving them away for free. And I'm not so sure you'll be able to listen to them anymore, but I don't know if there'll be a way you can download it. And still, I haven't played around with the Kindle version. I need to go do that, see if I can download the Kindle version, because if I can download it, I know I can listen to it. Okay? But as it says in Hebrews 5, I am the author of our salvation. Hebrews 12, I am the author and finisher of our faith. Okay, so author, yeah, you can listen to it. I listen to the Bible. I got a lot more from listening to the Bible than Romans 10:17, faith comes by hearing the word of God. Okay. So maybe listening to it. When you purchase when books on the website via Kindle version, you have to find a certain way that it might read it to you. See if you can listen to it. But I'll be no longer giving away free downscripts to any and all. And that has I think that's part of the reason why, I think that's the main reason why the father had UR Link go out of business, is because I was giving away those, and he had to kill the website because I would have always been giving the books away. Okay, well, truth be known, I've been publishing books now since 2015. I wrote my first one in 2015. There's 9 books published. I'll guarantee you I have sunk over $100,000 into writing, publication, and buying different laptops and so forth, and publication packages, promoting the books. Over the years, I'll guarantee you there's at least $100,000. I know I've spent over $50,000 with UR Link just by itself, and I've only been working with I was only working for UR Link for 3 years. So I know I've spent well over $100,000 on it, and then I was giving the books away for free. Well, how can the Father send me into his rest if I'm always giving away everything for free? That's why I'm not giving them away for free anymore. And the website's getting ready to go live at about the same time this war is getting ready to break out. Hmm. So I'm thinking once people start seeing, feeling, and understanding this is the wrath of God, people are going to start reading these books. That's when the dead in Christ will rise. I rose first. Now the dead in Christ, those that actually want to learn about our Father, who He is, what He's doing, why He's doing what He's doing, they will rise next. And you will see on this next website, same as the last website, as it says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 17, you'll be caught up with me in the clouds. You will see me in the clouds. You will see the Son of Man coming in the power of cloud. However, it said it a few times, I'll be coming in the clouds via the website. That's the only way the whole world can see me at the same time coming in the clouds. Website, World Wide Web. There you have it, guys. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Oh, no, I told you all the other day, I was going to show you. They're gonna pop up here. Yeah, right here. All right, this is the cover of the 9th book, The Life and Betrayal of Jesus. It is done, and I'm not going to talk. I don't even think I've done the 7th book, went over the chapters in the 7th book. I think I need to. And now that I think I'm done writing, yeah, I'll probably find more time. This is Rose. She's talked about in the book, her full name. This is the woman the father has hooked me up with. And I'll go ahead and show that real quick. Matthew 19. Matthew 19. And I talk about this in the 9th book too. Verse 5, and said, For this cause shall man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. Therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. Get that back here. Oh, come. Get back here. You little booger. There. I show you all, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the 9th book. Yes, the father, this, she and I have had a relationship for over 2 years now. Uh, but it did not become intimate, or it still hasn't become intimate in the flesh yet. Uh, but it didn't become, I didn't realize until after I got back from the Philippines last year that I was supposed to be, this is the woman that the Father has gotten for me. I have told this woman to screw off, leave me alone so many times, well over 15 times, but she continuously keeps seeking me. And it's because it's the Father inside of her that is caused her to fall in love with me. Likewise, I fall in love with her. I fell in love with her. But this woman doesn't wear makeup. Remember how I was reading that there earlier about how the woman's not supposed to let it be the goldly apparel, not supposed to let it be the braided of hair, because she doesn't wear makeup. She is subjective. She's you know, what I mean by that is she has read three of the books. She has she says she quit eating the unclean, but she's a vegetarian. If you're a vegetarian, you don't have to worry about eating the unclean. But she has quit celebrating birthdays and holidays. She's done this for almost 2 years now. She not just for herself, but she's got her daughter doing the same thing. She's got her same good friend Doreen doing the same thing, and she's even gotten her mom starting to do it. Her mom has only read part of the first book. Her mom's busy with the business that she owns and so forth. But either way about it, she is subjective. She's not submissive. She is submissive. She is one that will let me lead, as I won't show it in the scriptures, but the Bible actually says that man is the head of the woman, Christ is the head of man, and the Father is that God is the head of Christ. Okay? And she's gonna let me lead. She wants me to be the one to take care of all the money once we got our store up and running. But this is how I'm running. This is how I'm entering into God's rest. As God says several times, certain people will never enter into his rest. If we want to enter into his rest, remember the King James Bible is not a history book, it's a lesson book. It's about our lives. Now he's going to let the world see me enter into his rest and see you all get to see what that's like. That's why I think there'll be another book once I'm over there and all this gets started. But I still got to get to the point I got to get over there. So anyway, I'm ranting and raving, just talking away. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, like, share, do whatever you want to do there. Subscribe to the channel. But you're all going to realize I haven't been blowing smoke up your butt. I speak the truth and only the truth, whether you like it or not. If it doesn't align with what you say, line it up with the Bible. You'll find out I speak what lines up with the King James Version of the Bible. All right, I'm out, guys.